Hello, welcome back to I Say Our Wrong Reads, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, some of you might know that one of my favourite TV series of all time is Doctor Who, which is coming up to celebrate its 60th anniversary in 2023. For that anniversary, I intend to watch every single episode, read as many of the novels, comics, as well as listen to as many of the audio dramas as physically possible. And I thought that I'd take that chance to chronicle that adventure. So, first things first, what is Doctor Who?
Yes, it all started out as a mild curiosity in the junkyard. And now it's turned out to be quite a great spirited adventure, don't you think?
Doctor Who is a long-running British sci-fi show which began in 1963 and is still going strong today. It's about an alien travelling through space and time in their spaceship, picking up friends and enemies along the way. Currently, as of this video, which there has been 862 episodes of the main show, over 38 series and 3 films, possibly more depending on how you look at it, and many more episodes of various spin-offs. There is also another series coming later this year, which will bring the tally of episodes up to 868 and 39 series. There are 2 main parts of the television show. Classic Who, which ran from 1963 to 1989, and New Who, which began in 2005 and is still going today. Wedged in the middle is the 1996 movie starring Paul McGann. So, what will I be watching in terms of the pilgrimage of sorts? Well, to start with, I want to watch those 862 episodes of Doctor Who. The spin-offs will mainly be Torchwood, Sarah Jane Adventures, K9 and Company, Class, Probe, and some of the more obscure ones, but I'm not quite sure which exactly ones I'm going to do yet, mainly because some of them have very odd, like, home release web stories and stuff like that are all kind of all over the place and not really collated, but by the time I reach them, I'll hopefully have a list more accurately created for that purpose. I'm going to leave a link to a Google Sheets which should kind of chronicle the order in which I'm going to go through them and what I'm going to be watching in terms of the episodes. That's pretty much it for telly. I will also be watching the 1996 movie, obviously, because that's part of the main Doctor Who canon. Well, I don't say canon because canon is not a thing in the Doctor Who universe, but in terms of actual, like, kind of main thread of sorts, that's what I'll be listening to, watching, sorry. And then the other 2 movies I will be definitely checking out is the movies that were created as a spin-off of the 2 Dalek Adventures in 1963 and 1965, I want to say, starring Peter Cushing as the Doctor. And I'll be checking them out pretty soon, probably after I finish the first 2 series. I'll probably be doing that. And I've always wanted to kind of check those movies out and see how they stand up to what I remember watching them when I was really young. So, in terms of the novels, my aim is actually to complete reading The Virgin New Adventures, which is about 61 books, and the 8th Doctor Adventures, which is 73 books now, considering that's like 34 books in total. I don't want to be just reading those books, so that endeavour might take slightly longer than the television and that kind of side of things, mainly because I want to be reading other things in between, and also I've got 2 years to do it before the 60th anniversary, so plenty of time to split them kind of over 2 years and do that adventure on its own kind of side. So that's what in terms of other novels. So in terms of like other books and novels, I might read a few here and there depending if they catch my eye or if they're suggested to me, recommended. I was thinking about doing a couple of the novelizations, but I'm not quite sure about that yet, or like some of the most lowly rated Doctor Who books or some of the past Doctor Who adventures, which they're all very, very big ranges in themselves, and it would be almost impossible to try and get every one of them done. But I would like to try, give it my best shot to try and consume absolutely everything in the Doctor Who universe if possible. So, up next is comics. So, this is where I start to get a bit out of my depth in terms of kind of mediums that I tend to consume. I'm not a great comic reader. I've only read V for Vendetta. It's probably the only non-Doctor Who comic that I've ever read in my life, and a couple of Seventh Doctor ones actually. But I do want to kind of get into them a bit more, and I'm definitely considering doing the 10th Doctor run and the 13th Doctor run, and possibly the 8th Doctor run as well. I'm going to try and see, kind of wait till I get to those respective areas before I start reading the comics, see if I like them, if I like the kind of format. If not, then I'm probably going to leave them out. But if I do end up liking them, then you know what, more for me to read, so that's a win in my book. If anybody has any recommendations for those series, then please do let me know, because it definitely is something that I'm not entirely as comfortable picking out and starting from scratch, even though I know it's like continuous threads. I think for the way that the Titan labels their comics, I think it shouldn't be too difficult, but fingers crossed. Finally, we move on to the audio dramas. Now, as the 8th Doctor doesn't really have his own television run, he only has the 1996 movie. I do want to try and follow his run from start to finish. So I've actually listened to quite a few of them already, but I want to try and finish it and get all the way from the start to the finish, to the finish to where it is just now, following his monthly run to his standalone series. So that's including Charlie, Lucy, Molly, all the way up to Liv and Helen with Stranded. So those are the ones that I'm going to try and aim to do, definitely. I also kind of want to finish the 6 and Evelyn run, as well as the 7 Ethan Hex run. If I have time, I'll maybe check out the 5 and Ermin run, but that is also quite adding quite a lot into it, because there is a load of Big Finish stuff out there that is probably going to be very difficult to finish. However, the traditional kind of way of doing the pilgrimage of sorts is by watching an episode a day, kind of, but I much prefer kind of completing the serials in one go. I feel like it's a lot more enjoyable if I sit down and watch it all in one go, even though I know for other people can't really watch classic Who like that. They like watching one episode per day. So that's basically how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to record everything as I go. I'm not going to be like vlogging it or anything, but I will be recording my favourite parts about the episode, some fun facts about each series, and then at the end of each era, I'm going to be kind of ranking them all and talking about what I liked most and what I didn't like and that sort of thing, and how I would recommend them to other people. So in total, I'm going to be watching a lot of episodes of all sorts of things, reading a whole load of books, listening to a whole bunch of audios, and I hope that you will come with me and join me on this pilgrimage towards the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And if you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comments, and hopefully I'll have, in 2 weeks' time, I'll have the first series of Doctor Who up and reviewed and done, starting with the 1963 episodes An Unearthly Child. Also, the ones that don't exist in TV format anymore, so the lost episodes, the 96 episodes which are lost, I think I'm going to mainly listen to the audio narration that they've got for them and do it that way, unless I particularly am recommended a novelisation over other type of media like that one. So I think that's the way I'm going to be listening to the lost episodes. So again, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next week with back to my regularly scheduled book videos. Bye bye.